featuring AZO, AutoZone. Why? AutoZone is a listed stock, and it's been in a rip-roaring bull market uptrend, and we always trade it. However, we were shorting it last week up here at the highs, and I can tell you that the highs were right around that 385.99 handle, $385.99. The low from that short trade to this low here was 380.41 pennies. So you can see from the short entry highs over here that it's recorded and documented very well that there was a $5 yield from the high of 386, really. But just figure our orders were between 92 and 99 pennies, and you hit so you have about a $5.50 and some odd pennies reversal in the trade from an overbought exhaustion. AutoZone. So MMT, please log that one in there. Let's go to ISRG and let's look at its daily patterns as it's been making its continuation run in its bull rally. And I'm just simply showing these on a daily. You can see where we are starting to get top end heavy right here. So keep this on your, and just take a look at that number over here. See, you're right there. And the high was 526.51. However, the low was 518 and it closed at 523. Most importantly, MMTs, as it continues to bounce off these support levels. However, we're starting to get into this upper price resistance level where we start to look and see how much the high reversal was paying. And you can see it from this snapshot at 526.50. You can see that wick. That's about $2.50 long just to the wick. So when you're getting hit short up there, you're doing yourself justice. And that's my best way, MMT. The very best way that I can explain price exhaustion. We've moved on to CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, MMT. We've taken a look at where that gap down, this left elbow daily gap down, is where we came in ripping that buy zone. You can once again take a look. I will show you those lows and how wonderful that these bull trends have been at their lows on left elbows and bull rallies. 386, that was that low right here. And that date, 3/6/2012, to the high right here. Here's that high in that last positive bar. That was 399.56. However, the last part of that exhaustion high was 400, and then coming down to the lows, 396.51, closing at 398.12 on CMG. Once again, MMTs. All of the price pattern structures will follow their overbought exhaustion levels where you would engage in a short sell up at the high of that exhaustion reversal. And then on the left elbow gap downs, you can take a look at the 4-day rally and you can take a look. That's what that top end resistance was. Now, we'll look for it to make higher highs. At each higher high, though, you will have a price reversal. Moving on to Priceline.com, once again within the bull rally structure, MMTs, that price exhaustion reversal comes into play. Yes, it does. And one of the key rules is letting the market come to you and have discipline. And be willing to let those upper end of exhaustion delta price resistance ranges show their hand and how they fall off of the highs. Priceline was a good one. Once again, if you really take a look at the two of them, what I would like to do is talk more about price line and ISRG. When you see how they come down here, but they make these 4-day rallies. They start off at the bottom here, and then they come up to the resistances. That's ISRG again. Now MMT, let's flip it on back to price line. Same thing, watch. Except, once again, this one was with that left elbow gap down and how they burn right up to the high. And I'm just emphasizing this one. Each peak, you would sell short, reversal high. The higher that you go, the more overbought that you get. So if you break through the resistance levels up to the 562 area, 565 area, you'll know that that price, there will be very little buyer up there. The only thing that will be involved at that time will be the electronic bid and ask in the ECN structure, electronic communication network. So when these trends go in here, they go in here, you got to get them short with stop market orders always while they're at the highs. You don't want to short them when they're down here. No, that's when you go long, okay? Now, we all know that, MMT, but it's when they get up here and they get exhausted, they have pullbacks. And price line, I'm telling you, and the ISRG, the trades that have patterns like this, when they get top end heavy, they're all going to look like this originally. When they come up in their rallies, this is Amazon.com. And over here in Amazon, you can clearly see the same thing in a lot of these bull patterns. But now, when you look at Amazon, you're looking at a pattern where other equities that make their shorter term 3-day rally to the 3-day breakout phase, on the 4th day, these are the ones that start to reverse. Just like this one did up here. They always start with this cross, and then they have this nice downside move to it to the bottom, right here. And basically, within the channeling structure, that's called price channels. What are they? They are high-frequency machines that are involved in the ECNs that also mark these trends higher. You can see here, I just drew this trend line right off of, because this is where that reversal one was on a 3-day level. Now, let's take a look at where the 3-day rallies only go 3 days. 4th day, we're going to look for the 5th day. We're going to watch and see if Amazon.com breaks down, because it's definitely in a reversal in a current short-term overbought area. It has not gotten, or it has not put in a weekly or a daily buy signal yet. And this is a daily chart. So you're close to a daily buy signal, and these are your daily indicators. But in your platform, it's going to show you clearly when you start breaking below these areas, your highs are going to be up here, of course, up here at the neckline on Amazon. So, you know, depending on how we respond here, you would still sell short up here at these resistance levels in price volatility, and keep those orders out there up above the market. This is the key area of that reversal, 3-day reversal, MMT. Ross Stores. It's on a list. It's a retail stock. One of the things, MMTs, in a shorter time frame, in such wonderful bull rallies, this one has definitely lived up to its reputation. As far as the retail season goes, they've done extremely well. No one is saying there's anything wrong with Ross Stores as a company. However, you can see here where this was that last low dip, and right here on 2/16/2012, we made that ascending handle. Okay, that means that breakout, and then we started consolidating. Daily simple moving averages started to rip off of there, and you could see how the price action, and even with the gaps on the fade backs, that they were putting in a nice movement. And we've gone straight up here to the very high level, and this is live training right now at 11:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3/10/2012. What is it? We're looking for equities that have ran a very long distance in price within their bull rally channels called price channels. When they get exhausted up at higher highs, they're going to get more overbought, and they are definitely on our list. This one is at 93.68 on raw stores, okay? The 10-day simple moving average is at 54.4, so that's the 10-day simple moving average. The 20-day simple moving average is at 53.24 as far as the 20-day, and that's the red line here, and that's the 10-day on a daily chart. And where would these pullbacks, what would they look like when they get top end heavy? Well, we know a break below 55 is going to pull us back in here. So if we break up here and we have limit orders out, let's say at 56, let's say right around that 56.90 area up above the market, maybe right into the 57.35 handle up here. See, that's going to be other trend lines up here. Other price channels. If we can break right on up there, we would look at get that higher level up there, and it would be extremely overbought on the weekly and the daily, where that wall of resistance, MMT, has to come back down in the bull rally and test support. See how it likes to test its moving averages, simple moving averages over here before it breaks higher? They like to come down and test them. So once again, raw stores on the overbought list and opportunity list. CEO LTD. It's an ADR, but it's always been one of our high flyers. You can see where the gap started right here in 2012. MMTs, what a strong trend it was. But let's not only that, it's one that likes to put in reversals, and it has that price volatility. See, double bottom breakout handle with that daily consolidation. Daily with breakouts, as you all know, that is where we broke the tops in your platforms. And the thing about it is, in your MMT platform, your intraday platform, is you can clearly see where prices had the gaps to reversals. Now, having said that, it was overbought level. And other stocks within its group, they're going to do the same thing, MMT. MMT, that high is 234. This low right over here, and that was on 217, by the way. That's a February high. The 3/6 2012 low was $211 right here, and then over here you still held 211.91. And since that area, you've rallied back up now, MMT, to the high of 218.91 on 3/9. Now, that was that Friday trading day. That volume was 148,336. That was your volume on CEO. However, it's that bottom upside of that wholesale and how you exit out. The resistances are going to remain up here. CEO is a high alert, and it likes to reverse. You can see the dollar amount. It was right here when we were covering it. 234 on the high. That was that February. Here's your lows. 211.02 pennies on 3/6. So you can see the reversal and the amount. So we're $20. So you can see volatility on daily gaps. But look at, as we've been covering, each gap sold off. Each gap sold off. Equities in pre-market all last week. On Tuesday, they did it really hard. But there were other times that stocks were selling into gaps on daily gaps. See the volatility? See how they made lower lows each time? Made lower lows in these lows in here? And even lower than that low? Still went down and made a lower low. So it's about identifying the quality leadership stocks that are in play. Goldman Sachs on a daily level, live training right now. Here it is, 3/10/2012. What time is it? Well, it's 11:41 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. One of the things that we're going to cover is a topping pattern right here with that daily red reversal. Whether this was on 3-minute, 15, 60, daily, weekly, monthly, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that it's Goldman Sachs daily reversal to support. So let's define that bull trend to support level. Forget about all of the daily jargon that they have as far as all the bad news and what Goldman's done, why it's been on Wall Street. It's been around, Goldman's been around a long time. But we're looking at trends, though, and where dollar price movements occur at top reversal patterns. Once again, MMTs, we would like to highlight and feature to you the most important 3-day reversal, how they hit that lower support level, and how they go within their price channel structures. Now, having said that, we would also be looking at the market up above here, that if we can't close above the 120 and it smacks into the wall of resistance, naturally we're going to look at the 120 and the $125 put options. We are masters in options trading, but that applies to all of them that we're looking at. Goldman Sachs has had that reversal, and you're going to look for the volatility to come up, either test the highs or slightly below them, and how reversals start. But MMT, if we start the reversal lower, we could come down and break that support level and trade from this area right here, from the top down to, let's say, right around that 113.62 penny area where you would buy to cover. Okay, so we're still in a channel range from the top here with Goldman and upper end of resistance where reversals occurred at their level of upper resistance, meaning that that resistance is very, very, it's a wall of resistance in price because it can't go higher from here. So nonetheless, that's the amount of reversal you had. And I want to point that out, MMT, because this is the money part of it now. So up here at 122.18, which was on 3-2, that's March 2nd. Today's March 10th. Now, bingo, you get down here to that low of 113.11 that was on 3-6. That's here. That's that support level. And you came back up to the intraday. Now, let us not forget the intraday high 2 days later was back up to the 118 handle. So that was a $5 move from the 113.11 back up to the 118.68 handle. And that's where that support level and that price action supported your long position right into the smack of where that gap down and that low was and how it met that wall of price resistance on Goldman. Bull Rally, Panera Bread, PNRA. We were accumulating this stock over here some days ago, but this is a daily chart on it, and I'm going to show you that we were actually getting the dips when it was back over here at that 150 area on this daily. Yes, it had the price wiggles and jiggles, but it made it back up. And we covered Panera, and we said up and out of the money. And we got a back above that 160 handle, and that's a great bull breakout. So buying these names that we said we're going to go back up and test, we were buying back over here down in these areas of the 148 area and talking about that the stock would make it back to the 160 handle, MMTs, and it did right here. So once again, in the overnight position management trades, you're always looking for that bull support and where the last part of these rallies make their higher highs. Keep your eyes glued on Panera Bread. If it goes up too high, and that's that 3-day breakout. Wonderful breakout. Beautiful, MMT. Keep all eyes on Panera Bread. Here you go, live in action right now, BADO on a weekly chart. And one of the things that we liked about it was that up at the high here, you had that 3-day reversal below the 200-day simple moving average, and you had 4 days coming back up. Now, we had lots of MMTs buying down here and buying and selling on the intraday level right up to the peak of these highs. Here's that wall of resistance here, and it hit it. But it made it from where we were buying it down here, MMT. And once again, it's a full review. In the full review, was with people that were even in the live free day trial, or regular people making a market, is when this baby got down to that 131.40 area right here on 3.6. Remember, that was the low on 3.6, and we traveled right up here, like we said, right back up toward that 140 handle. It got to 139.99 on 3.9. And once again, yes, it was a 3-day reversal to major support. And MMTs, just to set the record straight, within its bull rally, this stock is still going to continue to pull back from its original support low to its current wall of resistance here. We'll be watching BADO very carefully about breaking the highs and taking it up here in higher areas of the market, and that would be trend lines that we would take over there, and we would be looking at exactly where and why it could go higher. And of course, once again, it's going to have this wall of problem right in here, and it's right across this area where you can see my pointer. So yes, this is where the trends have started down, MMTs. This wall of resistance is right in here, and support area where I drew these trend lines, and you can go back in these time frames and you can see exactly how BADO responded. Look at here the dates right there. This date right here, it goes clear over to 8/31 of 2011. But it doesn't matter. But BADO is between the 140 area right now and 131 area in its current trend cycle. So that's this pattern right here. And basically there's your reversal, and there's your long diminishing price action to resistance. Watch the pullbacks and how it sets up within its bull and bear channels, MMTs. All eyes BADO. SAINA Corp. Daily chart, SAINA Corp. Once again, within the bull rally structure of this 2012 low. But let's just take a look at this part of the cycles in SAINA and what SAINA's been doing. It had an earnings report. Remember, most of these did. And what I would like to show clearly for the MMT is that high, that area where you had that small gap, but most importantly is right about where you'd gap down here to this low, to the 10-day and simple and 20-day moving averages, and how that 3-day reversal from this overbought resistance area, as it came up, it tested it, and bam, right back down. That was the earnings gap. But look at how it came down, and it made that higher high. All alert on SAINA on the high end. It's been a very good market maker of late, MMT, as it has. So therefore, as we go higher, and the 200-day simple moving averages still has a long ways up here to go, but take a look at where that price exhaustion, it's the 4th day of that bull cycle, from the 3-day bear reversal to bull cycle, short the upper end as it gets at higher highs and confirm reversals featuring SAINA, S-I-N-A, MMT, M-A, MasterCard. Now, when we went through the MasterCard trades live during the market hours, MMTs, and when MasterCard had its earnings and whatnot, made its big gaps, but here, just for the sake of it, let's go to the trend tool. And remember, you can confirm everything in your MMT platform. I'm just showing you from a daily view very quickly here what the public looks at, okay, and how they make their decisions and whatnot. So outside of that, you can clearly see that when we were covering the name, as we do every day, and the reason why is that we were hitting price exhaustion after it went through its earnings. This is on 228 when we were really heavily covering MasterCard up at the highs of 426, getting net short. Now, MMT, Rick, you're going to want to make sure and record it, because we were getting it short up there, and it still put in another high of 428.57 on 229. Shot straight up there, but look at the reversal in that price action. Then we started getting down right after that. You know, the highs on our 3-1 count were only 423. Then the highs on the 3-2 was 419.47. And then we had the little counter rally back up to the 419. But look at here, the highs dropped down to the 412 area from that intraday peak of 428.57, and that's what the dollar reversal was worth within that one, the first day, that's the second day, that's the third, there's your fourth, that's the fifth and final day MMT hitting that low on 3-6 of 406.28, and that was a great way of playing those put options up there. That's price exhaustion, MMT. That is what we're talking about in these bull rallies when you're long, is how to get short that exhaustion, cashing in your long position, but getting short that exhaustion in the 5-day reversal patterns. But look, they all have the same thing. They rallied off that low of 406.28 to that current level of that net long, right back up to that 421 high that was put in on 3/9 of 2012. Once again, that was that wonderful upside, and we made markets during that time. We covered it, and not only that, you're going to be looking for the next reversal high, or we blow off that high, and we're just using the daily chart as a reference for your opportunity list starting Monday. MMT, here we go with Visa. Visa had a great earnings report, and it got price exhaustion up here on the highs. Now, when we were trading it, MMT, you'll go back, and we have a couple of MMTs that were getting these highs up here that I said we could go up to that 120 handle. We hit 119.36 and had that reversal, and I can give it the exact date. Now, remember that this was putting in its all-time highs after its earnings, and it worked its way up through here, through this major price area, that high bar right here on that daily level now. But this is where we got exhausted, and we finally hit those highs. Tell me. Well, here we go, folks. I think I concluded the Visa. Now, we were shorting it up here at the high, and it was time to get long. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked with the phone call. I'm going to start a new reel of opportunity. But once again, these are the counter rallies in the bull that have these key reversal levels at the higher highs. Now, remember, this is standard stuff. You're going to have to look into your MMT platform, which is going to tell you exactly where the higher deltas are, where those rollovers are going to happen. And just remember, that 120 puts up here was a place to be. Just want you to understand, again, the low and how these things traded back up toward these key reversal areas and within the bull rally. We shorted it down, time to be long. That's a nice directional movement because that was a 5-day reversal. And then you had a 380 turn right here with 3 up days. And you're selling up here again. Now, whether every high is going to be met with the wall of exhaustion, they all are going to be the same. MMT.